Hey guys, welcome back to The Tipsy Ghost. We are your tipsy hosts, Sarah, and Lindsey.
Hey guys.
Hi.
I was laughing because the dogs are snoring right here.
They interrupted our 3 seconds of quiet time.
Mm-hmm.
Of silence.
No, that's
But yeah,
what that
quiet
is.
time. Sure.
Timeout. Our 3-second timeout.
Our 3-second timeout. Yes.
Listen, I'm recording after work here, so
You're doing a great job.
my brain is really struggling right about now. But it's okay, I'm here.
You are here. Thank you for being here.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Honestly, you can come over anytime.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure I will. I'll just stop by. You won't mind, right?
I'm sure I will on the microphone.
Well, I got distracted by there was like a cobweb over there I was looking at or something, so I just...
What?
Thanks for pointing that out.
I was like, what are you doing?
I just happened to look over there and I didn't know if it was or if
I was
was
just
seeing
looking
things.
at your dust.
That's what I heard.
I know.
Please, your house is so clean. Have you seen mine? It's like literally one tiny spot, and I just happened to look over and I couldn't tell if I was seeing
You're not
things.
making it better.
I'm not. Oh, I wasn't trying to make it worse.
Listen, now she's going to text us on the way home saying,
You're
I'm
right.
so sorry that I pointed out your cobwebs.
I
She
will.
is.
Let me just go ahead and apologize now. I'm really sorry for pointing out that one. I would have said nothing, but you told me to turn my head and look at the
Well,
mic.
you were saying words pertinent to what we were talking about, but looking away, and
So
so
we can't pick it up. So she's asking
No, I
to
got
repeat
that
it.
part. I got that part, and I just was explaining why I was looking away.
and now we're talking about my dust.
We didn't have to. It didn't have to get to this point.
The one that brought it up.
You told me to look away
No,
from the dust.
I wanted you to look into the microphone as you speak to it.
I can't.
Listen, I'm sorry for talking about cobwebs.
My watch is telling me to stand. Shut up, watch. I want to sit.
That watch sounds judgy.
Intro is a mess.
I'm so
You
sorry.
start over? Let's just scratch that whole thing.
Okay.
About the cobwebs.
And I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to offend you.
It's okay.
I honestly couldn't tell if I was just blurry visioned.
You need to stop trying to justify
Okay,
it.
all right. Sorry. Said one semi-rude thing. Here I go. Okay.
Somebody worked her last night shift with me this past week.
Listen,
No, I'm still hurt.
You don't sound bitter at all.
Boydston, you're my best friend. You know that. And it hurts me that you left me to go to day shift.
Fuck you both.
I really appreciate that.
Sarah, you are my best friend too.
Right, okay. It's because I talked about cobwebs, isn't it? I'm cut out of the friendship.
We were going to cut that out.
Trifecta.
And you brought it back up.
I had to. It's because now I've been cut out of the trifecta. And it's now a duo. And it's because I was rude.
I can't believe you brought that back.
Of course you can believe it.
Yes, I can.
You're right. She's going to text us on our way home.
I know it.
I'm
so
going to
sorry I
just
talked
get
about
it
this.
out of my system now.
Your house looks great. I'm so sorry that I pointed out the one.
I already said that.
that.
Oh, this is going to hell. What are we talking about tonight?
Oh, I don't even remember. A haunted investigation. That's right.
Yeah, we are.
We went to Vaile Mansion in Independence, Missouri.
We sure did.
We did. I was there.
Thanks. Good commentary,
Yeah.
guys.
All right, story
And
over.
This is when we took a special guest, one of our friends.
Yeah.
Another Sarah. So I went ghost hunting with 3 Sarahs, all with an H.
This is true. It was a little challenging.
It was a little challenging. So, if you hear me talking about Sarah, it's one of the two Sarahs because I call you Boydston.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah, we can just say our guest Nope, can't say that. Those words are hard.
Investigator.
Oh,
Ooh. I'm going to forget that. I don't know how I feel about
think
that one.
I heard intrigue in both your voices.
It just sounds like you're saying the word wrong.
Investigator. Wait, I can't even say it.
No, that's right.
Investigator.
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 Yeah, it just sounds like it's saying
Investigator.
wrong,
But
but
isn't
okay.
it investigator? So gator in
But she's saying
investigator.
guest. Yes.
Investigator.
My
Yes,
brain.
instead of investigator.
I like my way better.
Okay.
She just flipped the G and the V.
That's why I was so confused.
That's why I said it just sounds like you're saying it wrong, but I get it.
It's better than saying guest investigator.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I just have to call her Sarah.
It's the investigator.
Investigator Sarah.
Yep.
Are we sure we like that better than investigator?
I mean,
I think
whatever.
either way. Okay. Whichever word you can get out in the moment.
It's going to be a challenge as we're finishing up these Bud Light seltzers, which are delightful.
I'm not finished mine.
I'm having a quirk.
Ooh, I like those too. I must have missed those.
Spiked and sparkling strawberry, lemon, and basil.
Ooh, I do like
or
that kind.
Basil.
Do we say basil or basil?
Basil.
We're in America, so we say basil. But
what does Gordon Ramsay say?
Basil.
Yes, I've heard him say that.
And herbs.
She wants to go eat scallops now.
I want to make scallops.
I love scallops. They're delicious.
So Costco has this giant bag of giant sea scallops, and I just want to go get them, thaw them out, and sear them in a pan with butter.
And so what is keeping you from doing that?
I've just been busy at work.
You could do this.
Mm-hmm. She's had a big transition at work.
That's true.
Know.
I do live right by Costco if you need me to pick you up some.
I've been watching, I ran out of Hell's Kitchen seasons to watch, so now I'm on MasterChef. Honestly, I think my current, if you could meet anybody in the entire world, it would be Gordon Ramsay.
I'd be so afraid of him. He's lovely with the children, but the adults, he scares me.
I'm the height of a child.
You could blend in.
I could try. But also, I'm not cooking him anything.
That's true.
So
you just want to hang out with him.
True.
I would be probably a customer or a guest, and he's very pleasant with those.
He seems honestly, like a very lovely person. He just scares me. He's got a very funny TikTok, if you've ever watched his TikToks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he mostly roasts other people.
Mm-hmm.
Which he's good at that.
Yeah.
I know.
But he also has his kids on it. And
Tilly. Have you seen his son? It's like a miniature Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, he looks a lot like him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would make sense, right?
Yep.
Okay. I want to try a beef Wellington because I've never had one.
Yes. Honestly,
it's like his famous dish.
We should just go to Vegas, eat it
at his restaurant,
the Vegas Hell's Kitchen, and get all of the famous ones.
Yes, beef Wellington.
What the hell is beef Wellington?
Have you never seen a Gordon Ramsay show?
No, I don't watch cooking shows. But I know I've heard of it. I know I've seen it.
That's really judgmental.
Sorry, it's like beef.
I'm.
No, she's telling me I sounded judgmental.
No, it was her.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what I said. So
that you don't watch cooking shows?
No, I don't watch cooking shows.
Oh, it wasn't judgmental. It's because I suck at cooking, and
I do too.
I have no interest, and I'm terrible at it.
I was going to find you a picture of what beef Wellington is.
The most important thing is that it's all wrapped in puff pastry.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was trying to picture in my head. I'm
and
like,
then
doesn't it
cuts
look like
half.
looks like a pot pie or something?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
I mean...
See why I don't watch cooking shows?
It's covered in
that
puff
does not
pastry.
interest me at all. Oh, okay. Looks like cheese.
It's a beef tenderloin that's wrapped in puff pastry and baked. Yeah. It's like an English cuisine favorite, so there's that. We got back off topic. Vaile Mansion. How do we get to beef Wellington?
I honestly don't know.
Oh, Gordon Ramsay. And I don't know how we got on that either. I don't know.
That's fine.
Oh, scallops?
Scallops.
We started at scallops. I don't know. I'm done connecting the dots backwards. Vaile Mansion. Tell us about Vaile.
It's another local one. It's kind of nice to do the locals sometimes. Mm-hmm. We've heard about this one for quite some time, I feel like.
Yeah, it's been on our list for a while.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give you the history that you can get on their website.
Love it.
And then I'll give you a little bit of other history that we may have
gotten
while we were there.
Source.
Yeah.
The secret source.
Yes. That's so true. She shall not be named.
She who shall not be named.
Barbara.
Thank you.
Let's call her Barbara.
Okay.
Voldermorta.
You knew where I was going.
You know where it was. And she's very lovely. I don't mean to say that she wasn't.
How dare you say that about Barbara?
Because you said she who must not be named, so it's Voldermorta.
I know I did. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're off. Again, Vaile Mansion.
Jesus.
All right, so Vaile Mansion is located at 1500 North Liberty Street in Independence, Missouri. It was built for Colonel Harvey Merrick Vaile and his wife, Sophia. However, interestingly enough, our source calls her Sophie. So, not really sure what the correct one is, but I think either one works. Mm-hmm. Harvey was born in Vermont in 1831. He graduated with a law degree from the University of Louisville and moved to Kansas City, Missouri in 1859. He decided to move to Independence in 1870 to kind of get away from the city and, live the country life at that time.
I was going to say, at that time.
Yeah, it's a little different now, but this was a while ago. So he earned money by investing in some businesses that involved the construction of the Erie Canal. He was also part owner and operator of the Star Mail Route, which was in connection with the postal services. He was a prominent figure in Independence and wanted to live in a, quote, magnificent residence as an outward expression of his wealth. So he kind of wanted to flaunt his money a little bit.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Colonel.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see that in the house.
I say that because all throughout the investigation, we kept calling him Colonel. Colonel, are you in here with us?
Yes, we did.
No, just the way you said, "Oh, Colonel,"
I know,
made me
that's
uncomfortable.
what I was laughing at. Oh, Colonel. Okay.
Okay.
You said it.
Mm-hmm. Moving along.
Okay. Construction of the house began in 1871 and was completed in 1881. It cost around $150,000 at that time, which is equivalent to about $3 to $4 million currently. It became known as, quote, the most princely house and the most comfortable home in the entire West.
Can you imagine, side note, like nowadays, a house taking 10 years to build?
No, I cannot.
That's a long time.
Yes, it is a long time. It's because everything was pretty much handcrafted.
Right.
And I can't imagine they had a lot of craftsmen at the time doing what they did.
Okay.
So apparently, like a lot of congressmen and senators would stay in this house when they would pass through. So that's why they called it the most comfortable home in the West.
Oh, okay.
The style of the mansion, it definitely sticks out amongst the houses in the rest of the neighborhood, if you've ever seen it. And we'll show some pictures, of course, when we post the episode. But you can definitely tell it's one of a kind in the area.
It's beautiful.
It is. And I am not into architectural styles, but I'll still tell you what they described it as. And it is a Second Empire architectural style with an Italian and Gothic details. Okay. Basically, it's very tall. It looks very tall to me with lots of like towers and long windows. That's how they describe them.
Okay.
The kitchen is complete with speaking tubes and running hot and cold water. Everyone's dream. Yes. There is a grand staircase that's made from black walnut. And that staircase is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Creaky, but beautiful.
Yes, very, very loud.
The mansion itself is constructed of hand-pressed red brick that are partially trimmed with white limestone and, as I mentioned, narrow windows. The mansion has 31 rooms, including 9 marble fireplaces, painted ceilings, flushing toilets, a 6,000-gallon water tank. Apparently, that's probably not the norm at the time.
Right.
And a 48,000-gallon wine cellar, which we did not see.
Did we?
We talked about this, I think, in the very first room.
Was it down in the basement?
There's just a bunch of Christmas trees and a reindeer down in the basement.
So
I feel like we would
trees.
remember that, but...
And a reindeer.
Maybe it used to be in the basement or something. I don't know.
To be honest, I don't know what 48,000 gallons would look like, so I wouldn't even know. So unfortunately, Harvey was involved in something called the Star Route scandal, which had to do with the U.S. postal officials receiving bribes in exchange for giving postal delivery contracts out. He was charged with defrauding the government and had 2 trials in 1882 and 1883. And in both trials, he was found not guilty, but had to spend quite a bit of money for the expenses of the trial.
Mm-hmm.
His wife, Sophia, had been diagnosed with stomach cancer. And while he was in D.C. in February of 1883, she was found dead in the home from a morphine overdose on Valentine's Day.
It's terrible. It
was presumed to have been a suicide. However, there are different theories surrounding her death.
Like an accidental?
Yeah, I think that's the most common theory.
Oh.
After Harvey returned to the house, one legend says that he was so distraught over her death that he buried her on the estate in the glass-topped coffin so that he could look at her face even after she had died.
That reminds me of Snow White for some reason.
That's
a
creepy.
glass-topped coffin.
I think that this one turned out to be not true, but I mean, he was definitely distraught. But that was the theory going around town, that he just was so tore up that he buried her in this glass coffin. And Harvey pretty much remained in the house until he died in 1895 of a stroke.
The thought of a glass top coffin is kind of fascinating to me.
It doesn't surprise me that you'd say that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but please explain.
I don't think
stock
I should.
your glass top coffin with White Claw.
You want to see the dead people rot?
I'm
slowly?
just not going to go there. It's fine.
No, I do want to know.
I do want to know too.
I wasn't trying
already.
to be rude.
I don't know. I just think it's fast. Like, whenever Union Station has, like, the mummies on display or anything
that's a
like
good
that,
point.
it's
right.
just fascinating to see something and think, like, that person was once alive, and then, I don't know, just marvel in the beauty of it all.
I don't disagree.
And
you're right.
That's why we're part of a paranormal podcast. Right there.
Yeah. Also why I have the decor that I have.
Skulls and skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm equally fascinated by that stuff. Although I don't know if I'd have one on my property.
No, please don't put me in a glass top coffin.
It's still one of my goals to have a haunted house. So
okay,
please,
okay. like a haunted
legit
home attraction, or
a house with paranormal activity.
Like you want to buy a haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Walter's not doing it for you?
No.
Sorry, Walter.
Walter, we're going to need some more activity from you, if you could hear us.
Shake the desk. She's going to be so mad at me if Walter does something tonight when we're gone.
She might like it. It might be kind of cool. All right. After Harvey died, it changed ownership. The house changed ownership many times. And in 1908 became a sanatorium and then a nursing home. I couldn't really find a whole lot of information on either of these things. They kind of just breezed by both of them. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess they wouldn't mention patients, but I didn't know if it changed names or anything, and I couldn't find anything about it.
I think it was the Vaile Sanatorium and the Vaile Nursing Home.
Okay, that sounds great. We'll go with that. It makes sense.
I remember us talking about when we were there that it was weird that it was a nursing home because it's 3 stories.
Yes.
These stairs are not easy to get up and down.
And honestly, the rooms haven't been switched or anything. They're still giant and beautiful.
Yeah. Although in the basement there was a room number over one of the rooms in the basement, which is
that's honestly the only sign that we had that it was ever anything but a house.
Yeah
I agree. And I can't imagine people trying to go down those stairs to the basement, and there was one tiny egress window up in the corner.
There was a bathroom with a shower, and that was really it.
Maybe they had a bunch of med sleds.
I just pictured him sliding down in the office.
The med sled evacuation.
They slide Stanley down the stairs in his helmet.
Yes, that's exactly what they did. Exactly.
I'm saying that's what happened. Vaile Nursing Home, but that's the image I got. Okay, all right. It does say during the time when it was a nursing home that it was used as the operating site for the Vaile Pure Water Company.
Okay. I will say, Independence.
Here we go.
Oh, thank you for mentioning. I didn't put that together. Please proceed. Yes.
Independence has been rated within the last 5 to 10 years the 3rd best water in the world, thanks to its underground spring. In the world, it's got an underground spring.
That is something to be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
So Independence has great tap water, and that is something to be proud about.
I bet it tastes really good.
I bet it does. We should have filled up while we were at Vaile Mansion. Dang it. Opportunity missed. All right. The house was eventually bought by a Roger and Mary DeWitt, and they made a bunch of repairs to the home and tried to restore it. Harvey M. Vaile Mansion is now a museum operated by the Vaile Victorian Society, which is a non-profit organization established in 1983 by a group of local residents, whom we had the pleasure, I believe, of meeting a few.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the paranormal activity at the house, many visitors have reported seeing a woman in white who wanders the halls. And This is thought to be the ghost of Sophia.
Huh.
She's most often seen on the 2nd floor, which is also where she died. There's also been a sighting of a young man who many believe to be a patient of the sanitarium. So HIPAA, they're not going to say his name.
Do they describe what he looks like?
No, they just said young man.
Okay.
He said he's up on the 3rd floor where he lived most of his life.
Okay.
There have also been reports of disembodied voices and shadowy figures seen descending the staircases. And at some point, the house was closed because of a psychic terror that caused everyone to flee the house. Did they talk about that?
Actually, no. But I remember whenever we first started this podcast, we were looking for places to go.
Yeah.
One of the main things that all the websites said was you can now experience Vaile Mansion again, which was recently shut down for an extended period due to, I don't know, paranormal something.
I knew it was shut down. I didn't know why.
Yeah.
Oh.
It would be fascinating to figure out what happened.
We should have asked our contact.
I didn't even know.
I had totally forgotten.
Yeah. Dang it. All right. Well, maybe we'll have to figure that out and get back with you guys if we find out what it is. So if you know, feel free to let us know too. And one more, according to some of the websites, is there's a spirit of an angry young man that's been seen as a full-bodied apparition, as well as being heard throughout the house, and then disembodied voices and EVPs in the basement. Okay. So go ahead.
I wonder why he's angry.
I don't know. Probably all those stairs.
Accurate.
The stairs are rough. So I wanted to give you a tip about. I recorded some good conversation with our contact.
Goodness. Yes.
I did too. I actually just haven't listened to it.
I'd recommend not doing that.
I was eating tacos during this conversation.
That was the longer conversation.
She had a taco box from Taco Bell.
Yes, she did. And
That's
it was amazing.
She lured us in.
You took her tacos. Lindsay's like, yeah, I'll eat all your tacos.
Rude. It was like a 12 party pack. I had 2. So she still had 10 tacos left, okay?
I think I ate some too. Okay.
And then we had tacos afterwards. We got another Taco Bell party pack.
It was a taco kind of a night.
God, I just love Taco Bell tacos.
I love tacos.
There's something about it. It was just the right tiny amount of meat to cheese combo. There's hardly any there.
I love the crunchy ones. You get a little crunch with them.
Hard.
Anything
meat.
hard.
There's the story behind that. Afterwards we went to go get Taco Bell party pack, and I was ordering for the car, and I said,
I panic every time.
Yes, she did. So I'm riding shotgun, and I just lean over her.
Yes, thank God.
Like, the Taco Bell party pack, and you have to choose between crunchy or soft, and I just said hard. And then, of course, these other 3 Sarahs are giggling like fifth graders.
Yes,
which made me laugh, and I couldn't finish the order until like 20 seconds later.
Yeah,
and then this is like 2 a.m. This poor teenage Taco Bell employee is just staring at us when we pull up
he
to pay.
He thought it was me, and so he's like, "Please get home safe." I'm like, I was laughing, but it was ridiculous.
He told us, he said, "God bless and get home safe." We're like, "Thank you, boy, young enough to."
Kind sir.
It was
okay.
Just because I said hard instead of crunchy.
I mean, you knew we were gonna laugh at that.
I know. Okay. Anyways, continue. So, what did you and your contact talk about?
Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara. Mostly, the thing I took away from that conversation was that, again, I think I mentioned this earlier, that Sophia, she calls Sophie the whole time. And she said Sophie's bedroom was not really a bedroom. It was her sitting room. And she actually shared the master bedroom with the Colonel.
So, upstairs on the 2nd floor, there's the master bedroom, which is huge.
Yeah.
And then there's like a door that leads to another bedroom. And that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Which is still pretty doggone big.
Yes, it is.
Doggone
big.
Big enough for like a few couches, a fireplace, a bed, all of this. So they were saying at first that was her bedroom. They had separate bedrooms, but our contact's like, no.
That's exactly right. She said they went on a European vacation and brought back some, at the time it was not unheard of to have shared bedrooms.
Right.
But in Europe, that was the practice there. So they brought it back, and that was really their shared bedroom. And so Sophie's sitting room was where she overdosed. And she says that lots of psychics have been through the mansion, and they all think that it was accidental.
Okay.
That it wasn't intentional. They found her, and when they found her, she was actually still alive, and they brought her into the master bedroom where she actually passed in the master bedroom.
And that's where Harvey died as well.
And that's where Harvey died from his stroke. So they both died.
In the same room.
In the same room. It's kind of sad and cute.
I mean, yeah, it's tragic, but like sweet, kind of.
Yeah. And downstairs they had 2 humongous parlor rooms, and there were separate ladies and gentlemen parlor rooms.
Right.
And the ladies' parlor room was pink parlor room, and it was gorgeous and had like a white marble fireplace. She gave me a lot of details about that one, but mostly that the ceiling used to have some beautiful painted roses on it because that was Sophie's favorite. But unless you have photos to prove that was legit from the time period, then they can't redo it. So it's painted white now. Everything was painted over. which is kind of sad. There's also dual entryways, which we never came in through the front door. We came through the servants' door many times.
Right.
But the dual entryway was to keep the dust and debris out.
Interesting.
Because I specifically asked, why do they have 2 front doors? Because I thought it was really important at the time. I mean,
of course you did. But why the 2 doors?
Like, to keep the dust and debris out. And I was like, oh, well, why couldn't they just be more efficient? She's like, I don't know.
Why can't they just sweep?
Why?
But why? Why? I'm sure she was like, please shut up now. I'd like to not answer these stupid questions.
Sorry, Barbara.
And just one more thing I thought was kind of interesting, because if you Google like images from Vaile Mansion, you'll always see a picture of a child, like a female child. Mm-hmm. And they don't really know who she is. But apparently at the time, painters would paint bodies of children and then paint the face of the child that they were painting on that body. So they would have multiple pictures of bodies, and then they would just have to like fill in the blank with the heads.
Okay.
So they don't know who this child is with this random head on there. I thought that was very weird.
It is very weird. Yes. Yes, it is.
Got a lot of interesting tidbits from there. And I also took home from my recording, I am terrible at interviewing. and and I'm pretty sure that she was done with me asking questions. That's what I wrote.
I think that's you being a 4.
I agree. I think she really enjoyed us. Yes. She obviously loved the house and loves
that
the
is
history.
True. That is very
true.
true.
She even came upstairs and investigated with us.
Yeah,
she did.
And which she had never done before.
Right.
Yeah.
She was scared of the dark.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not terrible.
I beg to differ on the interviewing piece of it. I think she had a good time, but yeah, my interviewing questions maybe could improve. That's
so,
okay.
Think back to what you sounded like when you were interviewing, and here's how mine would go. So, what's the history of this house? They would give an explanation. Okay, thank you.
And Sarah says that she was terrible at interviewing, but what happened at the end of your interviewing with Barbara?
Oh, yes, I talked about joining the board.
Yes. She disappeared for like an hour on us, and we finally sent other Sarah to go downstairs and get her and drag her up.
Other Sarah was the one concerned. Lindsey and I are like, she does this all the time.
Yeah, she was like, is she okay? And we're like, this is her. Like, she's fine. She makes friends everywhere we go. So she drags you back up, and I go, where were you? And on the recorder, you can hear her go, I'm part of the board now. I belong here.
I belong here. I don't, just FYI, for anybody listening.
She was just like, I work here now. I was like, of course you do.
I love this place. I'm passionate about it. I'd love to join the board. This is my official interview.
What is going on? Where have you been?
This one came on. Listen, she works here now. I told you.
I'm
Shut up.
part of this place. Hi.
What happened?
I belong here now.
I can't with you. Apparently you volunteered here now?
Yeah, I'm here now.
She's here now.
What does that mean?
Part of the board.
Of course, and that's ghost hunting with Sarah.
Everywhere we go. Can I help you? Can I work here?
It's pretty much true. And she disappears for an hour, and we're like,
sorry.
Where'd she go?
We always know you're safe, though, because you're usually with, like, one of the members, one of the leaders.
I'm just talking.
Do you think they're probably like, oh my God.
I love it.
Honestly, though, no, because most places we go, there are always people that are very passionate about it, and they just want to tell the story.
Yes. And you're like
That's
the first
usually
one who's always like, we have a podcast.
I do that. Yes.
Which I love.
It's because neither of you are going to say it.
No.
Nope, never.
That's how you get to hear the real stories of what's going on, though. You know, it helps.
Your secrets.
I mean, we'll see how helpful they are.
I would like to start on the top floor.
Okay, so we want to go to third floor.
Yeah.
All right, so just so we know, there is the first floor, the second floor, the third floor, and there is a basement.
So a basement, a first floor, the second floor, and the third floor.
Yes, and they're laughing at my hand motions.
Describing.
Great. So we're going to start at the top, the third floor, which Sarah did not get to go to because she was talking to Barbara.
No. I was gone. I got to listen to the entire conversation.
Oh, so it was like you were there.
Yeah, I felt like I was there.
There is a creepy Santa that is up there with a sheet thrown over it, so all you see is the feet. So I'm looking down at the ground, leading them up the stairs, and I just see these feet in the corner. My heart jumped out of my chest.
I don't remember seeing that
it's
on the
just
tour.
kind of a corridor with some
really
chairs
not.
outside, but then off to the side are rooms, but we were told we couldn't go in them.
And they're mainly using it for storage right now.
Yeah. I just had a question because there's like a bunch of towers seen on the pictures. Is there any way do you guys remember a stairway? I know you can't get up there. I remember seeing an extra staircase from the 3rd floor, though, that we weren't allowed to go up. So I'm wondering if maybe that one is
so there might be a 4th floor. We just weren't allowed up.
Yeah.
There's got to be some way to get to those towers.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see the towers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we couldn't go up there. Maybe they're not structurally sound anymore for liability purposes.
A good point. It's probably where that ghost hangs out, though.
Yeah, and the ghost in the 4th tower.
Did you guys get anything cool up there on the 3rd floor?
No, not really. Flashlight responses every now and then. When we were in there, we weren't really asking questions. We were kind of just talking, and the flashlights would go on and off. I think at one point we have 3 flashlights set up, and 2 of the 3 were going off.
Oh, okay. Well, I just watched the video that was actually recording on the 2nd floor, but I could hear you guys while you were up on the 3rd floor, and I hear a loud banging next to the camera on the 2nd floor.
On the 2nd floor,
were upstairs.
While we were up. Okay. We honestly weren't up on the 3rd floor very long, maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then Boydson was like, we're not getting anything besides flashlights, let's go downstairs. So then we went downstairs to the 2nd floor, and that's when we rescued you. And you came in with a new job.
And also the 2nd floor is where we started. It's where we spent the bulk of our time.
Yeah.
Really, we did.
That's what I remember the most.
So did we want to do the 2nd floor next?
Yeah.
Okay. So 2nd floor, kind of like we said, there's the master bedroom that's attached to a sitting room. There is a beautiful library.
Book room.
With a Dewey Decimal System in it.
Oh,
that
my gosh.
I fangirled over and made her take my picture in front of
the
Dewey Decimal
floor
System.
is just, it's stunning.
And there's another bedroom there. There's a long hallway, and at the end of the hallway, opposite of the staircase, there's like the sitting room kind of place.
So I had my weird deja vu moments
yes,
over and over.
I was going to let you talk about that.
Yeah, I remember.
And then across from the staircase.
What are you laughing at?
I, again, didn't realize we had pictures.
Oh, no.
Is it my Dewey Decimal System?
Shit.
I'm so happy. Look at how happy I am.
You're just as happy in the Dewey Decimal as you are with the Christmas trees.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So sorry. Back to the second.
So
Okay,
second floor, on the other side of the staircase, there is like, I mean, they are using it for storage now, but they called it, the servants' quarters?
Yeah. Is that where the,
there's a back staircase to lead down to the kitchen from there.
You can go buy, what am I trying to say?
Gift shop.
Thank you.
Yes. It's now a gift shop.
Yeah.
It's now a gift shop, but it has a staircase, a back staircase that leads to the kitchen. So it's kind of like a servants area. So we spent a lot of time in the library, in the master bedroom, because that's where they both passed, and then also in the sitting room.
Yeah.
Sophie's sitting room.
So Sarah had an experience here.
Yeah. I keep talking about it over and over.
And I actually listened to that recording
so
of
sorry.
you. No, it's okay. It was just me and you.
Did you?
Did trip me out a little bit because let's flash back to my weird Garnett experience, how I transported into a different dimension.
She teleported.
I did. I very clearly remember having images at Garnett about what something looks like. Mm-hmm. And when I saw it at Vaile, I had like major deja vu, and it totally weirded me out because that's what I kept seeing in my visions there at Garnett.
Right.
So it really tripped me out. It wasn't like, I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm in a different dimension. But I was like, holy shit, I've seen this before.
And it was that sitting room at the end of the hall. In between the library. So it's like the library is across the hall from the master bedroom. And then there's just a sitting room.
Yep. And it was even like the way the light was coming through the window. It was just everything about it. It was like, I've totally been here before. And I was on the outside looking in. That's all. Which, when you've had deja vu, it's totally freaky and weird in the moment.
Which was interesting because, and I talk about this in the recording, when you're like, this is it.
Yeah.
I was like, in Garnett, you kept saying you saw a kitchen. You were like, yeah. I was like, this isn't a kitchen.
But I said I can see it. Like I walked through this hallway and then I sat on this couch and I was looking up to the right where there was a light. I kept saying in my Garnett thing. And I don't know. And I was looking up to the right and it was like everything through the window, the way that the wood was on the window. It was just like, that was it. That's where I've seen that.
Which they had stuff like etched into the wood there, didn't they? Or something. I remember Barbara talking about that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was. Everything is so intricate there. Yeah. It's hard to remember all the detail.
So let me think.
But it wasn't like I didn't have like a paranormal experience. It was just, maybe it was. I don't know.
I was
definitely deja vu.
I was tasked with watching all the footage on we have 2 cameras now, 2 night visions, and I was watching all the footage on one of them, our newer one.
Where was that one set up?
It was located all in Sophia's sitting room.
Okay.
Ooh.
And so while we were in there, there's a loud female cough, and we're actually all on video at that time, and you can see that none of us are coughing.
Okay.
We are just having our session, and then Lindsey says that she hears some shuffling in the corner.
So in this sitting room, my back is like to, like, their rooms are connected kind of by, like, I don't know how to describe it.
It's like a little pass-through.
It's like a little pass-through. Like, it's not like a door that opens.
Right.
There's 2 doors, and there's just, like,
there's
this
a space between there.
2 feet of just nothing.
Yes.
Of walls. And so my back is to there, and at one point I turned so I was sideways so I could see into both rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept seeing things pass, like, out of the corner of my eye from the master bedroom. So that's what I mean by shuffling in. Okay.
And then we did get some spirit box responses. So somebody says, "Can you tell us your name?" And we get yes. At one point you hear, "Help me."
Ooh.
Somebody asks, "Are you a patient here?" And we get no. Some of the names that we get are Bo and Catherine.
Okay.
And then again, more flashlight responses. And then we would take breaks,
We pee a lot.
every so often. So while we were gone, there was probably a good 4 to 5 minutes of, it starts with a door latch. You can hear a door latch. And then after that, it's pretty consistent. Like a series of thuds, maybe footsteps or knocks. It's just noises. And we're gone.
Yeah. And I'll add, I don't know if we've said this, we were the only ones there. This was a group investigation. And the bathrooms are all downstairs. So you can... I feel like this place is big enough. Like, I couldn't hear us when we went downstairs.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
So, just to put that out there.
Yeah, and the only reason why I could hear them on the 3rd floor from the 2nd floor camera is because it's open. Like, there's just the staircase going straight up there, and it's pretty close to it. So,
right.
But we had a couple of other recorders in different areas going on at the same time, and I can hear the same thing on different recordings that you were hearing as well. But also... at some point in our first session in Sophie's sitting room, we hear a knock, and then Woodston hears a shuffle behind her, and you called it out on the recording. I can hear some noise. I can't quite make it out what it is. It also might be another shuffling. And Lindsey sings a lot of songs in that one.
Oh my gosh, guys, I sang all night long.
It was really funny. Like really random songs.
Was it Dido?
I was singing
It was before Dido came.
Let me point out too, every time that we got poison, or we talked about poison,
God, I know.
You guys went off. You and
I heard it
Sarah
too. I
started singing, "That girl is poison."
All night. Between that and Bust It, I was like, I'm going to lose it.
We were all singing. I will stand my ground. Surrender. There will be no white flag.
I think so. No.
I'm in love and always will be. I will go down with this.
Alright.
I had a night vision camera that was at the end of the hall, kind of by the library, I'm going to call it your room.
Yeah, okay.
While we were in the sitting room. And my first note on this was, oh, look, I'm singing already.
Oh.
So I was.
Yes, you were.
I heard knocking. I heard a bang. I heard a growl at one point, and footsteps as well.
I think we all heard footsteps
on each of our separate devices that we listened to.
That were all set up in different parts, too.
Yep.
And
cool.
While we were in this room, we weren't moving around. We were all sitting down.
Yeah.
And staying
And I don't
there.
think any of us heard it while we were in there either.
No, we didn't. At one point, I thought that I saw, like, something in the master bedroom, and that's what I think we were talking about, like the shuffling or something. And I also thought I saw, like, a light across the hall, but I didn't see anything on the night vision camera. So it could have just been mine.
Yeah, it's hard to say. On the camera that I was watching, it was only actually on to where I could see anything for about the first 10 minutes out of an hour and 40. So the rest of the time I could hear everything.
But you couldn't see
But it was dark. And so a lot of times I think I'd see something, and I might have, but a lot of times it was our flashlights popping on. So it was hard to tell. I definitely could hear some things.
I did catch some orbs as well. So, like, the way this camera's set up, there's a desk in the hallway to the left of it. And anytime one of us came near the night vision camera, of course, you're going to see dust and things fly up. But then, like, I think this was over an hour of footage, and there was nothing if none of us was around it. And all of a sudden, at one point, none of us were around it. We were in the room, and you just see all these, like, orbs just shooting up from the desk, it looks like. And that went on for about 20, 30 seconds. So,
an orb storm.
It looked like yeah. I mean, I would have debunked it as, like, this is bugs, this is dust or something. But again, none of us were around it. So something, you can for tell dust to just, go off. It was interesting.
Did you guys want to talk about the Colonel's room at all?
Yeah. So let's go to Colonel's room. So before we go to Colonel's room, before we go to Colonel's room, me and you, Sarah, we went down to pee.
Yeah.
Leaving Boydston and the other Sarah. And they were just talking in there. And again, on the night vision camera, I caught an EVP in response to one of their questions. They were talking about the paintings on the ceilings, and one of them had been covered up. And Boydston asked Colonel, was that your choice to cover it up? And you can hear yes.
Yeah.
Like, kind of as a whisper. Mm-hmm. So that was really the only EVP I think I caught that night.
Yeah, and to be honest, it was kind of difficult to hear any EVPs because we talked a lot this time. But we had a really good time, so we're not gonna dog on having a good time there.
And this was our first time ghost hunting in a few months, just because of the holidays and everything. So
plus we had an investigator.
Yep, guestivator.
We'd missed each other.
Yeah, we had a lot of catching up to do, and we laughed a lot that night. And
we did.
I got the task of listening to the recording when we were making our TikTok video on a bus sit challenge. And
I'm sorry,
that was a trip. Anyways, that was really fun. You should check it out on TikTok. We did an excellent job.
I was not in that.
She recorded it. Yeah,
she
didn't want to be in it.
A great director on TikTok.
Thank you.
I want to be in it, but maybe one of these days we'll convince her to get on there.
Maybe someday.
I feel like we had the most activity in Harvey's room just because we had a lot of flashlight activity there.
For sure.
Sarah, our investigator, talked about getting chill bumps and chills all over her body and feeling cold.
Yep, I think I wrote in mine that she had arm tingling, and then the flashlight turns on, and then lots of flashlight activity after that.
And I saw a shadow at one point too, but I think I debunked it. But who knows?
Debunked.
I thought I saw a shadow in the sitting room while we were in Harvey's room, which is kind of funny because when we were in the sitting room, I thought I saw something in Harvey's room.
Yeah, I think that's about it that we got upstairs.
I have one more in the master bedroom.
Oh,
okay. Sorry. I forgot that I had the last recording of the night when we were live. So in the master bedroom, this was the last place we went also because we went back there because we had so much activity there. And again, we had flashlights. They would turn off when I asked them. I would point at them and I'd say, can you turn this flashlight off? And it would turn off almost right away.
Yeah.
And we had a spirit box response that said poison and then nurse right afterwards.
Is that why we started singing poison? Okay.
Yes. But in this room, they have a display of the poison that she took.
Yeah, and we were talking about that.
Uh-huh.
And our guide, she mentioned an overdose of, I thought she said laudanum?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay. Yeah.
I've heard about that on Medical Mysteries.
Okay. I'm not super familiar with it.
Medical murders.
But on all the websites they say morphine, but and I don't know if they're related or the same, but it doesn't matter. That's what it said.
So, yeah, spirit box response saying poison the nurse right afterwards. So that was kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're ready.
Yes.
Now we're going to go downstairs.
Well, let's talk about the staircase.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to get her to do.
Oh, sorry.
I think that's a great idea, Lindsay. I'll do that.
Butthead.
So we go to head downstairs to the first floor from the second floor. And I was in front. I was leading the pack. And I turned the corner because the stairs take kind of a turn. So I turned the corner and go down the main stairs. And in the pink parlor room, right standing by the window, I see a ghostly figure. It was a lady in white.
A lady in white.
Full body apparition.
So then I stop and I'm like, what am I? I'm seeing that, right?
Yeah.
And I ask everybody else and nobody else saw it.
I don't think any of us were looking in that direction.
Well, you said, I see a lady, and I thought you meant Barbara.
Yeah. I didn't even think to look down there. I was focused on not falling down the stairs, but I'm so glad you saw it.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And so to piggyback off of that, near the end of the night, I was going down the stairs, taking pictures like I do, and started catching orbs like crazy. Down the stairs, on the stairs, and then it was, so like when you come down the stairs, the front door is literally right in front of you, and then there's the sitting room to the left is where she saw by a window right there. So I started taking pictures of that area, knowing that she had seen that, and there was orbs all over, and they were moving like closer and closer to me. So I started doing an EVP session and didn't really catch anything, I don't think, but we got lots of orbs. And the three of us all sat in that sitting room for a little bit. Yeah. And Sarah, I'm sorry, you're in a lot of these pictures, but the orbs are right behind you.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Like,
great.
Crazy. Like, I would, I always take 2 back to back, and it'd be in one and then not in the next one. And
was my back facing the window?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It was behind you in the window, and it was just hanging around you.
Oh.
So I got lots of pictures of some orbs there just to kind of validate what Boyson said she saw.
They must have, I think they really enjoyed our concerts that night.
I did say at one point, I did say at one point while I was singing, I was like, "You're welcome, spirits, for the free concert."
Probably the most entertainment they've had in a while.
You're not wrong. I think we were hilarious.
Yeah. My singing, at one point in my notes, I put, my singing doesn't sound too bad right now. And then 30 seconds later, oh, now it's bad.
Just for the last audio, and one of them I wrote, "Oh my God, so much laughing, bust it video. I don't know what's happening here."
Yes, our notes are funny.
I can't get anything. That one was a wash.
So that lady's sitting room, we had lots of stuff there. And also in the hallway. I got some orbs in the hallway there too, in that staircase. Men's sitting room, we didn't really go into.
No. It was still decorated for Christmas.
It was.
I feel like there
and we went there in February.
On. Yeah.
It was. We didn't really go there. I mean, it's beautiful. And then there's like a dining area. Didn't really go in there to investigate either.
No. Yeah, so we can move on to the basement, yeah?
The basement.
The basement has some super steep steps, which is why we are surprised that they would use it as a nursing home.
Yes.
With a sled.
We did some Facebook and Instagram Live down there as well.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Lots of, I feel like we say this every time. It's kind of like just lots of little rooms. They're all sectioned off.
Compartmentalized, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's just the style back then.
Yeah, and I guess if they were using it for nursing home residents down there. But it was interesting because that was the only place in the house where they had little rooms like that for residents.
They were very
everywhere
small.
else was, and I don't know, maybe they did it differently, but everywhere else in the house, they were these enormous rooms. Like, why would you just put one person there?
Right.
Like 20 people in the basement.
Right. And the basement is cold, damp.
Yes.
It's all used for storage right now.
Yeah.
Tons of Christmas trees, which I loved.
But even in its heyday, it's just cement walls.
Cement
floors. And
it's all,
it's not very warm and cozy or inviting down there.
Like a basement, like what you would think. Very dark. There's not.
It makes me sad for residents who live down there.
I got... Pretty much, like, as soon as we got down there, we started doing Instagram and Facebook Live, and I started recording, and we got the spirit box said, "Final Sarah," and it said Sarah with an H.
We've been asking them to say our name.
And it said Sarah, like, right away, within 4 minutes.
Wow.
So everybody flipped out at that. That was pretty cool.
Were we on live at the time when it did that?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Probably. We get all geeky.
We do. We got lots of flashlight responses down there. They were really lighting up the flashlights.
They really were big into the flashlights that whole night.
They were. We got medical came through on the spirit box as well, which again, this was a sanatorium, so that was pretty cool. And at one point, I went off in one room by myself and heard a weird noise like above us from the first floor, but we couldn't like pinpoint what it was. It didn't sound like footsteps. I'm not really sure what it was. It sounded like thuds almost. So I got that, and then I heard a slam at one point as well from a door.
So a couple of people after our live, they told me afterwards that they could see things behind us.
Ooh, like what?
Like lights or things just floating around behind us. They were like, I don't know what that was, but I had multiple people tell me that.
Interesting. Okay.
It's very interesting.
That is cool. So that's all I really got from the from the basement. Just because, like I said, we were Facebook and Instagramming live, so of course we were talking and weren't getting AVPs other than we would talk and get spirit box and flashlight responses.
Yeah, but still a cool place down in the basement.
Cool place.
Definitely creepy, for sure.
Very beautiful.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much all I got. I had a couple changes in our audio when we were listening. I think Boyson said the same thing. Maybe just kind of, if sounds like a low reverberation or something, lasts for a while.
I did have, and one of our recorders ran out of like memory or whatever, 45 minutes in. And
which is strange. It's never done that to us.
Right.
I remember reacting like,
this is the one we always use. And near the end, probably the last like 10 minutes, it's the audio skipping around. Like it would miss words and it kept skipping.
Interesting.
So I don't know if something
it's never done that before.
It's never done that. I don't know if it was messing up because like it was nearing the end of the memory or because something was messing with it. But it was like, I was listening to it and I was like, what? And you could just hear it like jumping around.
So what's your final take on the place?
So I had another dream. So we went there. It's been how many days since we went there?
12?
Just this past Saturday?
13? We went on the 30th.
So it's been 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's been 11 days. I know we kind of talked about how I kept seeing things out of the corner of my eyes.
Yes.
And last night, we're recording this now, but last night I had a dream. And I was standing on the staircase looking down at Vaile, kind of like how you saw the white woman.
Lady in white, okay.
And around that area, like there's this, you remember the circular, it kind of looks like a pincushion. It was like a circular like chair.
Okay.
That was right in front of the door.
I wanted to sit there.
Yes. So right there, looking up at me at the stairs was a young gentleman who had like curly hair.
I just got a chill. Because I talked about him, that people see him.
I took notes I woke up at 2:20 in the morning and took notes at 2:20.
Who are you?
And I texted them and said, remind me to tell you about my dream. So this is
but thank you.
what I wrote at 2:20 in the morning. Typing this so I don't forget it's 2:20.
It's was it 2:20?
It was 2:20 in the morning.
Like AM? Okay, all right. Thank you.
Dreamt of a curly-haired man at Vaile, standing at the bottom of the staircase, watching me, smiling at me. So I woke up because he didn't say anything. He just watched me, and I woke up, and I'm in my bed at home, laying on my back, and he is at the end of my footboard, watching me, smiling at me
in your room,
in my room.
Oh my god!
Still just watching me and smiling at me.
See,
and
let me get this straight.
Hang on, no, let her finish.
Okay, and then I'll take time for questions. Okay. Still watching and smiling. Period. Sleep paralysis. Period. I couldn't move, and I was trying to make fists and couldn't. So, like, when I'm in my sleep paralysis stage, I'm trying to move, like, test it out. And so what I do is I always try to, like, make a fist with my hand. And so I was trying to do that, and, like, I couldn't. So that's how I knew I was paralyzed. So at that point, I try screaming normally to try to get myself out of it, and couldn't scream, but I was, like, moaning, kind of like my mouth was closed, so I was like, which I know sounds weird. Yes.
I do know what you mean. Yeah.
Yes. So, like, because I'm trying to, like, in my mind, I'm trying to say something, and I'm also trying to, like, get my husband's attention.
Sure.
Because he normally pulls me out of it. I tried screaming, it came out as moans, and that woke my husband up, and he shook me awake, and that's, like, what pulled me out. Like, as soon as he, like, he'll start touching me or patting me or something, he's like, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Yeah.
And that pulls me out, and then, you know, I was able to wake up and breathe or whatever, and I wasn't talking, but as soon as I, like, woke up, in quotations, he was gone. The guy was gone. So that was my dream this morning.
The reason why I interjected is because I just want to make sure I understood it correctly.
Yes.
Because, like, you remember being in a dream, and then it just transitioned to.
I remember laying in my bed, and I was on my back.
But, like, at what point did, like, you were dreaming you were in the house? Is that what you said?
I was dreaming I was on the staircase, and I saw him at the bottom by that seat thing. And then I was in my room, and, you know, I'm looking up at the ceiling or whatever, laying on my back, and I look, because my bathroom is across from my bed, and I looked at the bathroom, and he was there at the end of my footboard, still just smiling at me, and that's when I was like, oh, crap. I'm sleep paralyzed. Paralyzed. Sleep paralyzed.
Way to lighten the mood. I like it.
And that happens, like, with my sleep paralysis. I know we've touched on this a ton of times. Like, where my dream will come into my bedroom. Yeah. Until I, like, actually fully wake up.
That happened to me from the McIntyre when I was in my bedroom also.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there I don't think I was there at the house.
Yeah.
With that person.
You just, like, were in your bedroom.
Saw her in my bedroom.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to figure out.
Well, and, like, I thought I was awake. Yeah, I thought I was awake. And then I saw him in my room, and I was like, no, you're not awake yet. And then I was moaning so much that it woke my husband.
Maybe we need to be like saging after these investigations.
So that's why when you were talking about the history and you said like people see a young man.
That's why I got to chill.
Like, curly hair?
I don't know.
I just remember curly hair. A white young man, curly hair.
So if you guys have been to Vaile and you are the one who spotted the young man, please tell us, what did he look like?
I just want to know.
Because there seems to be a nice one and then an angry one that is in the basement.
He didn't seem angry. Like, he did not say a single word the entire time. He just stared at me and kind of did like a, not like a friendly smile. Yeah, like kind of like a creepy smile. Like, no, not showing his teeth.
Yeah.
Not grinning. Just like a...
He's probably happy that somebody can see him.
It was unsettling.
For sure.
Like, even before I was in my bedroom, like, in my dream in Vaile, like, I was unsettled by him just standing watching me.
So let me clarify.
Here she comes. This is the second time I've had a sleep paralysis after we've been in place.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's time to start saging, getting a practice.
You had this happen last night.
Last night, yeah, technically this morning.
And today we find out that there's a guy on the first floor that's seen. So it wasn't already in your brain.
No, I mean, I remember them talking about them seeing a man in the basement, but you said there was a man in the basement and a man on
third floor.
The third floor. Yeah, I don't know.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't remember that until she talked about it tonight. I remembered the woman, obviously, because of your experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, jealous. You guys got to have some really cool experiences.
I don't know if it's just like it gets in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did too, the deja vu stuff, but yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like you separate that, and also you don't, as you say, you don't believe, but you don't not believe.
Right.
And so, I don't know. I just don't feel like you'd be committed to the idea of something coming home with you.
No, I mean, it took me a while to fall back asleep after that. Any sleep paralysis unnerves me. I hate it. Mm-hmm. Ugh, it's the worst. But I wasn't like scared. Just it unnerves me. Mm-hmm. Just because it's a scary feeling. Like, he didn't scare me as much as just being paralyzed. I hate that feeling.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I feel like a strange man in my bedroom would scare me.
But like, I knew, like, I was even thinking.
But you could even tell he was friendly or like not hostile, maybe.
Not necessarily that, but like, when I'm in that sleep paralysis and I know I can't move and I can't talk or anything, I know that it's not real. Because I remember thinking, I'm laying on my back. Sleep paralysis happens on your back. Like, I remember thinking that because I talked about that when we did an episode on it. So I remember thinking that. And so I know, like, in those moments, it's not real, that it's a dream, but it's still, like, unnerving because I can't do anything.
Well, my demon named Barbara scratched my eyes out. That really scared me.
Yes.
Your demon did not do that.
In my sleep paralysis, they never touch me. They never get to that point to touch me. Which that would be terrifying. Mm-hmm. Like, I know I talked about stories about it where they get on your chest and all this stuff. They never have touched me. So that would be terrifying.
Don't open yourself up to that. That's not a good time.
I don't want them to touch me.
Don't get on my chest, demon.
Get off.
What if they pull your hair?
Not when I'm sleep paralyzed.
Paralyzed.
I almost did it again. Dang it.
People are going to think we don't know how to say things.
I know how to say it.
Guesstivator or paralyzed. I like it.
Because I'm thinking sleep paralysis.
We just create our own words.
So that's my dream. Take that as you guys want. I was like, as I texted you in the middle of the night, remind me to tell you about my dream. I'm like, they're going to freak out.
I love it.
I just get
We're internally freaking out because I love it. I love that you were the one to have this experience.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you, Lindsey.
Thank you. I hated it.
Maybe one day it'll make you a believer.
So, I don't know. Vaile, what do you guys think? Haunted?
Yes.
Gets the Sarah's stamp of approval.
It's a Sarah approved.
I agree.
Sarah approved.
It's not scary. I don't think.
It's not scary. I wasn't scared or unnerved while we were there. I don't think either of you were.
I think it's a happy place.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful place.
Yeah. Yeah. Go check it out.
Definitely recommend. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in this week for our haunted investigation of the Vaile Mansion in Independence, Missouri. You can always find us at thetipsyghost.com, and all of our socials are linked from there.
Please give us a 5-star rating and a great review on Apple Podcasts. We would greatly appreciate it.
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We will catch you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.